splash in the wrestling
The
Discord.
biggest
Everyone.
splash. Yeah, everybody's here. We got all the big names featured up on stage. How have you been
All
doing
faith.
game wise, Sid? We haven't really updated on that a little bit.
Oh, how the game's
Yeah.
been doing? I took in a lot of hearts, which you
Mm-hmm.
might see on the
Yeah, a
playlist.
little.
I will happily report that most of that is just fall damage, so I'm not
Oh,
actually
okay.
doing that bad against the mobs, which
Mm-hmm.
is great.
That's good.
Because I got some get bad games now and again with that, but
Yeah.
still going well. Got 9 gold. Other than that, it's not been amazing, but
Mm-hmm.
I found a second dungeon
Oh, wonderful.
with an enchanted book
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
of Protection 3, Feather
Oh.
Falling 4.
Oh,
So
okay.
we got some fancy boots coming up right
Yeah, if
here.
we're able to get enough diamonds to make some diamond boots in the market,
Yeah,
then we know what
that
we're doing for those guys.
exactly.
Let me tell
We're
you.
going to be prime fashion designers. That's going to be our
Prime
career.
fashion designers. I can see
One
it.
of a kind diamond boots, selling them for like $100,000
Oh,
on auction.
yes.
It's going to be amazing.
I'm down. I also I meant to update this a while ago, but we were just involved in a conversation. But I did find a mine shaft, so I do
Oh,
have in a decent amount of string on me right now. So I know you already found some earlier, and I'm sure it helped with the finding of your second dungeon as well. But
I also did find a mine shaft, so I kind of
oh,
wonder if
you
we're in
did.
the same place somehow.
Oh,
I don't know.
I am at about negative 850, 600.
I don't think that works. I'm gonna see if these. Okay, I don't
Peace.
think those the PM chords work.
Okay.
Never mind.
Oh well.
What would you say again?
Negative 850, 600. About.
Oh, we are at the same place.
Oh, what? Okay. Where are
I'm at
you?
negative 900, 500.
Oh, okay. So that was definitely the same mine shaft then. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
But hey, if we haven't spotted an activity yet, that's good, I guess.
yeah, I guess we're exploring different enough areas.
That's wild. Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, I don't know if you have an apple to heal you up. I know that you said you had 9 gold on you, but
Yes, I do have the one apple.
okay, because I have 17 gold on me and a few apples, so we can get you
Beautiful.
up to good health in no time if we're able to meet up.
That's good. Yeah,
So
yeah.
good to know.
Yes. And we are the face, so we already have the bow boost. We don't use
Hmm.
to use the gold, so that's good.
Yeah,
Good.
I wouldn't. I'm not interested right now in
Yeah.
putting down stuff to make that happen. Quite frankly.
Yeah, I don't
So
see that ever being like likely for us.
yeah, no. I'm
Honestly,
interested to see how many people will make the switch and if there's going to be much of a strong desire to go with one over the other. Like, do you think most people want to go with the bow, or most people want to go with the sword? I don't know.
Gosh. I hmm. I don't. I think it kind of depends on the skill level, of course, because
Yeah.
um, as okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm still a pretty bad player, so I could see if I was just playing on my own, maybe just going with the sword, because like I'd probably half and half equally good.
Yeah.
So getting like the surprise attack on someone is probably the most likely way
Yeah.
of killing someone.
Power up and
So
go in.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think for the most part, or just about all these teams are pretty balanced. But I don't
yeah.
know if that will even lead to. Oh, I found diamonds, or at
Hey,
least
beautiful.
one diamond. Two. I think it was just two. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
it's
it's a
still
start.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
It's an investment towards the one of
Yeah.
the kind diamond boots. We're gonna make
Exactly.
all the money. It's
Yeah.
gonna be great.
So yeah, if we want those and enchantments, we've still got 6 more to go. But I think I think it's possible.
Yeah.
It's definitely
I got a little diamond level ravine going on
Oh,
here, so
okay,
I'll
okay.
report back with more with more at 5.
sure thing. Yes. Yeah, the cave I've been exploring was there was a lot in the mineshaft area where I was earlier, but that was really only at about Y30, and only somewhat recently have I found a little bit more of a deeper cave. So I'm getting some goodies off that, but not a whole lot.
Okay. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm kind of curious. Like,
Uh-huh.
you say you both have an interest in writing and like film production.
Yeah.
Have you like ever written out any ideas for a movie? Like, do you have any ideas that you'd love to make someday?
Not particularly, only because my interest in writing doesn't really correlate too much with my interest in film, unlike
Gotcha.
my interest with like visual arts. My interest in
Sure.
writing has always been with writing short stories, or like when I was a kid I used to love to write comic books because it included both
Oh,
my love for drawing and my love for writing. So
yeah.
I would just make up stories as I was going along, and which would usually have these giant plots and these arcs with all these characters and stuff.
Oh, that's
Um,
so cool.
yeah, no, I loved doing it at the time when I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9. But I think that I've never really found script writing or like professional writing within film or other media to be my thing. I've always loved the idea of creative writing, and that's kind of always
Right.
where I've leaned to. Whether I could
Yeah.
actually find a career in that, I'm not too sure. I think if anything, it'll be just always a side hobby of mine. But
Sure.
I definitely do enjoy it quite a bit.
Oh, man. Do you remember any of the stories for the comic books you made back in the day?
Uh, you know, when I was a kid, I was kind of raised by two parents who could kind of be considered nerdy. So
Oh, okay.
my dad was always, when he was a kid, he was obsessed with superhero comic books because he was raised in like the 70s when
Sure, sure.
Marvel and DC and stuff were at like arguably like some of their peaks or whatever.
Yeah.
So he always had a ton of those comic books around. So a lot of them were centered around superheroes, or at least a clash between good and bad. I love to write stories about those.
Oh, gotcha.
Some of them were just weird stories. I remember I wrote this one continuing story that had a few issues of this like mutant little frog character that was just this tiny
Ooh.
frog who would jump around. He only had one eye, and he would harm people, and he was this little troublemaking frog character. I don't know. It's just stuff
That's
here
so
and there.
cool. Yeah.
Honestly, you can go back at them, and all it really says is just spilled stuff from the brain of an 8-year-old. But there's
I
probably
mean, sure. I mean, isn't that all creative minds though?
yeah. I suppose. Um,
Oh, that's
Maybe there's some good
awesome.
content in there, but I kind of it died out once I didn't have as much free time on my hands. I'll say that.
Sure. I mean, that's always the killer of anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, because I used to
There's
like
never enough time.
my fourth grade teacher was always, or at least the main person that really encouraged me to draw. So almost
Uh-huh.
all my time that was spent in her classroom would just be drawing comic books when we were doing other stuff.
Oh.
She would set aside time for the class to write, but she's like, yeah, Max is the one who just does the comics instead of the writing. So it gave me a lot of time to do it that year specifically.
Oh, that's great that she was so supportive of that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she was
Wow.
awesome. I remember she was like, I haven't seen her in years, but she kept telling me how she was like expecting me to like write or draw for like Marvel one day or whatever, and I was like, it was nice.
Oh, honestly, that's so good. I
Yeah.
just puts a smile on my face that hearing like a teacher being so supportive.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
I'm
you have
just
any
gonna
good
take that.
teacher stories, or teachers who like really like opened you up to other opportunities for your interests?
Let me think. I think my film teacher
Mm-hmm.
was really good at that because he was a filmmaker himself.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he reviewed movies for the newspaper, like the local
Ooh.
newspaper.
Oh,
Like
that's cool.
he knew a lot about movies, and like he just showed me like so many movies I had never heard of and that like were so good.
Uh-huh.
I think
Eye-opening.
just that in general was such a positive influence on me. Like
Uh-huh.
it allowed me to think outside the box in a way that I just hadn't before, and that was
That's
really
really
fun.
cool. Yeah. I always personally find myself being, attracted to any teacher who is very clearly invested in what they do. I find that even if it's a topic I don't care much for, if a teacher is interested and if they have a passion, then they'll make me interested too.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's shown and sometimes it's not. Sometimes teachers have, just more of a passing interest in things. It doesn't really come off well just because I can't be interested in their teaching style or something. But
Mm-hmm.
like I've had teachers who would totally get me into subjects that I didn't even think I would have cared for at all before. And that's to me what always makes the hallmark of like a good teacher is when they can
That's great.
invest me in something that I wouldn't have previously even batted an eye about. And there's
Yeah,
been a
it's
few
like
cases of that.
their passion in it is like kind of driving your passion. You're
Yeah,
just like,
yeah, for sure.
influenced by it. That's so good.
Because
Oh,
they're so interested that by default, or by not by default, but like by association, I'm interested because I can see that they care
yeah.
about it so much, and I'm like, what are they seeing in this? And then it allows me to think about it and
Oh,
open myself up a little.
that's so good. Oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
just ah,
I remember I had this math teacher in
mm-hmm.
junior high, and he was just so energetic. Like he had so much energy for every class he
Uh-huh.
went into. So it's just like you couldn't help get excited for whatever he was gonna teach next, because he wasn't afraid to just go wild sometimes. Like he would just jump on the table
Oh my
sometimes,
god.
just like driving the point home and like getting like a lot of practical examples for math stuff. Like
Uh-huh.
not just going by the numbers, but actually like, okay, this is a real world example of
Yeah,
where this
yeah.
would be help you. Like, man, everyone just got interested. Like, you couldn't just ignore him. There was
That's
no
wonderful.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's something you kind of had to with math, I guess, because math can get really dry if you don't try to do something with it.
Yeah, as speaking from experience, math is very very dry. If you're
Yeah.
not already interested in it, I've never been good at math, but I do think under the right teachers, I could have been interested. It's just I never had that good luck with math teachers, and they
Sure.
really only seemed to benefit the people who already liked math and didn't do a whole lot for the people that didn't.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, but not all teachers can be winners in that regard, I suppose.
That's that's definitely been like a problem, like in general over
Mm-hmm.
here. It's like if you are not caught up with math all the way throughout like your education,
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of screwed, because like
Uh,
most teachers will just continue doing like what they're told to, instead of like making sure that everyone is caught up on
that's a shame.
like the prerequisites that
Yeah.
they should know. So I think that's something that they're trying to get better at, because that you definitely need that with math, because once you start getting lost, it's
Oh,
so hard. Oh,
GG.
GG. It's
Yeah.
so hard to like get back in it. Like you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
very easily lose motivation.
I totally get that because I've been in that position where it's like I come into math class for a certain year and I go, you know what, this year it's gonna be my year with math. I'm gonna set myself up. I'm gonna do well. I'm gonna pay attention, and I'm gonna get a better grade than I normally do. And then I'm out of it for a week, and then all of a sudden I'm completely behind on everything, and there's no effort to
Right.
catch up. And it's just like, it's so hard. It's so hard to bring yourself back in after you've
Yeah, yeah.
gone out for a little bit. So, one moment. Yeah.
Do you have any pizza requests?
As far as
Let's see.
places to get pizza,
Yes.
Yeah, because
I
that
mean, you know where I
that's
usually
gonna
go.
easily be a problem if you're just sick for a week
Yeah.
or so. Because in a week they could have
Yep.
learned a whole
I
lot
did.
while you were away, and then just
Very
that
cute.
can make it
I'm
really
getting
hard
my
to
other
catch
box,
up.
which is called Sisters
Maybe you just have to
BFF.
do a lot of homework, and that can get
So
boring if you
Nice.
have to do
I
a
really,
lot
really
at
liked it.
once.
Yeah.
Super light story,
not-
but just
not easy, for
very
sure.
sweet.
Very sweet.
Okay, Gracie's napping. I'm
A
gonna
little
Okay.
diamond or two. Don't mind if I do.
Sorry, I was talking to my mom for a second. I missed what you said.
Yeah, all good. I was just filling time.
Oh, you were okay. Sorry, I heard that you were speaking out of my headset off, but I didn't know if you were like, yeah, okay.
No, no. I just
Wonderful.
wanted to be like what do you call it again? It's not empty air, but dead air. Dead air.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just wasn't sure. What were we talking? Oh yeah, math teachers, good teachers. Yeah.
Do you have like one day in school they remember like being really fun?
One
Like,
day.
one memory of just like, oh, that was fun. That was a good day.
It's difficult to assess because most
Oh,
jeez, okay. Because most days, I have 4 classes a day, so I might have days where I had one great class and then one other class that was kind of a bit like, eh. Oh, GG, okay. It sounds bad, but I don't know. I don't think there's not one memory that's coming to my mind about just a good school day. I know I've had many because in general I do look positively upon my school. I really like the school I'm going to, and I think out of my options, I'm glad I went there. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any good school stories?
Um, I guess there might be a few. I think that especially my media years were probably like the
Hmm.
most positive
Yeah.
because it just gave me so much time to work creatively
Hmm.
and like both individual and group projects.
Yeah.
I especially think like making movies, especially that was
Hmm.
a lot of
Hmm.
fun. I remember just some days of shooting. You know, we were gonna make a music video for. Have you heard of the band The Killers?
I
You
think
know
so.
them?
Yes. I'm not familiar with the work, but I've heard the name.
Yeah. So we just got a project. Just make a make a music video. It was like, man, we could do whatever we want.
It's so open-ended. I love it.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, that just allowed us to do so much, like come up with our own story to go with the music video,
Uh-huh.
and then do our like every member does their own edit, so you got to see all these different
Oh,
versions and
that's so
takes on the
cool.
story. Yeah, it was awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. I love it when you get that kind of freedom, not just with projects in general, but just kind of, when it does really feel like more of a group activity and like an actual joy to work on with other people.
Yeah,
That's always a blast.
definitely. Um, I think the most exciting part for me was just seeing the different final versions at the end, because like,
Yeah.
oh, so this is how you looked at it. That's so different from mine. That's so
Uh-huh.
cool.
Yeah, different interpretations.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Uh-huh.
One thing I forgot to mention, probably
Uh-huh.
should have mentioned it earlier. I got 5 diamonds on me.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. I love it.
There you go. Should
Um,
I just make the stuff now?
yeah,
Or what do you
go
think?
ahead. Do you have books on you, or are you just gonna make the pick and get the
I
obsidian?
have the supplies, so
You
yeah.
do. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. That does also mean that we're only two times away from getting a little boots.
Ah, beautiful.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, I believe he was the trivia champion, so the
Yes.
trivia passes
New
on.
tribute champ vinyl.
Mhm.
Another kill for that team. They did
Wow.
not seem to take many hits there.
That's terrifying.
That is a little scary, not gonna
Ooh,
lie.
okay.
But
Be on the lookout.
be on the lookout, guys. They're coming for you. Yeah, very good news. Good on finding the diamonds.
Thank you.
Boom, boom. I personally myself am exploring new cave that should lead to maybe some diamonds if I'm lucky, but my current gold count is 53, so I have
Nice.
a decent amount of that on me.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
I can't say I've been that lucky, but I'll make some
Diamonds.
contributions. Awesome.
It is okay. That was 3, so that's enough to make the boots.
Awesome.
So we can
Okay. Well
we
done.
can slap that together, and we'll have the best
Yeah.
time. The best time.
That's great.
Okay.
So you said like your dad was into comic books and stuff. Do you
Yeah.
have any like favorite comic books? Favorite comics?
I personally have my admiration for comic books turned into as I grew up more and more of a love for graphic novels, and that's really what I've turned on to reading now. I don't follow
Yeah.
comic books that much, but I do follow a lot of graphic novels that I love. Some of the early ones that I read that really got me into it was I read the Bone series when I was like
Oh my god!
I read that
yes!
when I was like 8 or 9, and I loved that so much. And
Oh.
that was kind of what turned me onto that whole scene. And since I've had gotten to so many good books, just in general, that are like kind of in the same vein of that are just lovely. Like I don't know if you've ever read the Mouse series by Art Spiegelman, but like
Oh, I
that-
heard the name. I don't think I read it. Yeah.
it is incredible. Oh, it's so good. It's this book. Or first of all, I should say, are you familiar with Art Spiegelman in general?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a book about him interviewing his father because his father was a Holocaust survivor, and
Oh.
it's not only is it drawn and written incredibly well because the perspective and the relationship between him and his father is so real and so interesting,